Hawa, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Raha Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles, the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother Yakar Aben from Great Millstone, Houston, back with another lesson. And somebody had sent me this video, and it kind of, when I see these other videos, they really piss me off because people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about, and they just spewing a bunch of nonsense, not looking into it, not reading what it actually says. Uh, so this is a short, I guess, on TikTok, and I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna break it down. We're gonna stop it from time to time, and so some edification can go out. But here we go. The Bible speak, okay? Go ahead. It says here in Revelation. I can't. I don't know. I gotta try and restart it. Chapter 5, verse 9. Hold on. We're gonna restart it. And yeah, we're gonna restart it from the beginning. That way we can get some kind of here we go. But cometh and keepeth my works unto the end. To him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. So who's ruling? Okay, first of all, that's a revelation that he's speaking. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 26 and 27. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Right? And this word nations, ethnos, G484. This is nations, different nations, tribes, nations. He's gonna basically the Gentiles. It says in the Old Testament, foreign nations not worshiping the true power, pagans, Gentiles, and that's exactly what it means. That is the definition that it means in this instance. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So we understand that this is Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. His name is Yahweh Shah in the Hebrew. And, so who is going to rule over the nations? Okay, we have to go back into the scriptures to some of the prophecies. Let's get that in Daniel chapter 2. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about who's going to rule the nations. It says, this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44. It says, in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and that kingdom shall not be left to other people. So what does that mean? If the kingdom's not going to be left to other people, then it has to be by the people that the Lord set up for it to rule. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So the Israelites are going to rule that kingdom. So Yahweh Shah is going to send his son and set him up over the earth as ruler, and his people are going to rule with him. That's who it's talking about. It's not talking about, okay, and let's get what this other guy says. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as vessels of a potter shall be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. So the other nations are going to be ruled over by Yahweh Shah. But they're going to ask the question, and then this guy is going to try and give his limited understanding of who these people are. Well, let's get it.
These nations again? Can I answer you? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna let the Bible speak, okay? Go ahead. It says here in Revelation chapter 5, verse 9 and 10, it says, and they sang a new song saying, worthy are you to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain and purchased for God with your blood people from every tribe and tongue and people and nation. And you made them to be a kingdom and priests to our God, and they will reign upon the earth forever. I cannot believe you went to Revelation.
Okay, so we're gonna get that. We're gonna unpack that. We're gonna unpack that. It says, okay, so this is Revelation chapter 5, and we're gonna start at verse 8. It says, and when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. So we understand that the Lamb is Yahweh Shah. You know, Yahweh Shah is that Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. And we understand who the saints are. The saints are those that have made an agreement. Well, let's get it. Let's get it real quick. Who the saints are. I'm trying to open up another window. Oh, there we go. Bear with me. Psalms 50 and 5. This is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5. It says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So we understand that the children of Israel are the only ones that made a covenant with the Lord through sacrifice. But as it says back in Revelations 5 and 8, it says, which are the prayers of the saints. So we know that those prayers are only the children of Israel. And it says, and they sung a new song saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us. Okay, so right there. Okay, this is Yahweh Shah was able to open the book and open the seals of the book. He was the only man able to open those seals. So we could get the 100% understanding of what the scriptures are saying. It says, and they sung a new song saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High. So, and has redeemed us. Okay, so what does this mean? To redeem, G59 agarazo. It says to be in the marketplace, to attend to do business there, buy or sell of idle people, to haunt the marketplace, lounge there. Okay, and it says buy, redeem. By implication, to purchase, specifically to redeem. Okay, so it means to redeem, to buy, redeem. So let's get what this word means. You know, so when you redeem something, what is it that you're doing? So we're gonna get that. Okay, it says redeem, compensate for faults or bad aspects of something. It says gain or regain possession of something in exchange for payment. So the Lord is going to gain or regain something in exchange for payment. So what was that payment? We're going to go back to it. I mean, you know, these things are simple. So, and they sung a new song saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast brought us back unto God by thy blood. So he used his blood to purchase something to regain, to bring it back. It says, and has redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred. What does that mean? Out of every kindred. Out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. So you're going to buy us back out of every kingdom, nation, tongue, and people. Well, okay, well, what is part of the curses? What is the part of the curses? We have to go back into that. Okay, let's get Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. And it says, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy power have driven thee, and shalt return unto the Lord thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, thy power, will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, thy power, have scattered thee. So, okay, let's go back to that Revelation 5. It says, okay, and has redeemed us, brought us back, purchased us with your blood, brought us back to the Most High by thy blood, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and has made unto us and has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. So we're going to reign on the earth. Let's get back. Oh, that's that Deuteronomy. Okay. No, Salakia. Daniel chapter 7. Let's get that. So, this is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So the saints of the Most High are the ones that are going to take the kingdom. Those are the ones that are going to rule over the other nations. Those are the ones that are going to rule over the other nations. As stated, the Lord is not going to let other people rule on earth. It's going to be his people, his saints, right? So, and those saints have been scattered into every nation. So, I mean, it's really simple if you understand it, but when you read it for face value, you try and say, well, that's every nation and kindred and tongue, but that's not what the Lord is saying. The Lord is not saying that. He's saying that he's going to gather his people out of every nation, kindred, and tongue. I mean, this is a simple concept, but if you don't understand, I mean, if it's not given to you to receive the mysteries, then you're not going to get it. You're going to think that So the so-called white man, which is Esau Edom, has been ruling over our people for the last, for centuries. But this last captivity, over 400 years. And he had this same book, right? He was reading this same book while he was putting hell on us, but yet now our oppressors are the same people. They can enter into the kingdom along with us, but they've been ruling over us. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And the Lord said that he was going to set up his son over the earth with his son's people. And guess what? He's going to take his son's people out of every nation, kindred, and tongue. I mean, it's simple. Let's keep going.
They're the people of God from every people, nation, language, and tongue. And
Okay.
Isaiah.
Yep, he just said it right. The people of God, the Israelites, out of every nation, people, and tongue. Exactly what it says in Deuteronomy. It says, let's go back to it. He doesn't understand what he's saying, but that's Salakia. Yeah, Deuteronomy, right there. It says Deuteronomy chapter 30:3, that then Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua thy power, will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh by Shem Yahushua thy power hath scattered thee. Yes, he said it. Absolutely. Yes, the Lord is going to gather his people out of every nation and tongue. And that's why we said, the Israelites have been scattered amongst every nation. But they're still Israelites, even though they don't understand they're Israelites. Because you are, whatever your father is. And it doesn't matter what you look like. But those people that the Lord is going to gather are from the tribe of Israel. It's simple. It's very simple. But okay, let's go.
When it said the nation and kingdom that shall not serve thee, who's the nation and kingdom? Those who are against Israel. Only those who are against Israel.
What? The nation and people that will not serve thee are the ones against Israel. Okay, yeah. So Israel, the people that are against the Israelites, which is all the other nations. Okay, I guess he's never read that. Psalms 83. Let's go to Psalms 83. Psalms 83. This is Psalms 83:2. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, okay, so-called white men, the Ishmaelites, that's the so-called Arabs, Moab, the so-called Chinese, the Hagarenes, the Gabal, Ammon, the Japanese, Amalek, another tribe of Israel, another tribe of Edom, the Philistines, the Hamites. All of these different nations have came up against the Lord's people. So yeah, those people are going to serve. They're going to serve, and they're not included in the promises. But keep going.
Can I answer you now fully? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. So notice how we just broke this down, ladies and gentlemen. According to who the kingdom is made up of, it's made up of every tribe, every people, every tongue, every nation, every language. And
No. It's not made up of every people, every tribe, every nation. It's made up of and has redeemed us to the Most High by the blood out of every kindred. Out of every kindred, not of every kindred. It said out of every kindred. So
ignored that and went here, went to the shuffle, and then tried to say, see, strangers are going to serve. Which ones? The ones that are against the people of God. So it's not every stranger on the earth, but only those who are against God. As a matter of fact, hey,
hold on. There's Jeremiah 30. Hold on. Let me close out one of these windows or two. Oh yeah, let's close that out. Jeremiah 30. Right here, this is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And these are the other nations. These are the other nations. It's not going. The Lord's not dealing with people out of individuals out of nations. No, the Lord said, the children of Israel had to go into captivity and be scattered. Guess what? The children of Moab, the children of Ammon, the children of Esau, all of these different nations are going to get judged according to their nation. They're not going to get judged according to individuality. Only the Israelites that are scattered into those nations are going to receive salvation. Period, point blank. That's how it is. Esau has done all of this pseudoscience where, people think that there's mixed people. No, there are no mixed people. You are what your father is, and it goes back to the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who the promise was given to, and that's who's going to receive it. Nobody else. The Lord is not going to make a mistake in there and pick somebody that's not of the tribe of Israel, because the promise was for them. That's what the wheat and the tares is all about, But like I said, there's another lesson. But as it says,
give me Isaiah. give me Isaiah where it talk about the Egyptians and the Assyrians.
Oh, I love that
Watch
verse.
this. I bet you do.
On that day.
Okay, we're gonna break that down to. Hold on. Let's close out some of these windows. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're going to close out some of these. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. We're going to break that down for you. Lord willing, this is edifying. But, here we go. It says,
Israel will be the third party to Egypt and Assyria, a blessing in the midst of the earth, whom the Lord of armies has blessed, saying, blessed is Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, my inheritance.
Whoa. You mean to, wait. You mean to tell me that Yahweh just said that a foreign nation...
Okay, Yahweh, not Yahweh. That is not the name of the Lord. The name of the Lord is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushua. So Yahweh means he is, and Yahushua means he is the deliverer.
Who used to enslave Israel, that he's now calling Egypt his people?
Right?
You mean to tell me that the Assyrians, who once stood up against Israel, are redeemed and now they're called
The work of
his hand? So then Israel, and then wait, just so we don't get it confused, it says that Israel is a third in this party. And what does it say about
my
Israel?
inheritance.
So we got Israel, my inheritance, Assyria, the work of my hands, and Egypt, my people.
Okay, so, we're going to break all of this down. We're going to break these things down because, they just spew out some shit and, everybody's clapping and all of that, but they don't get the understanding of what's going on. Okay, so we're going to go back to that Isaiah chapter 19, and we're going to start at verse 19. It says, in that day, there shall be an altar to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. So right here it says an altar. So what is an altar? You know, we're going to get, just simple definitions. We're going to get simple definitions. There's going to be an altar in the midst of Egypt. It's an altar. It says a table in a Christian church or which the bread or wine are consecrated in the communion service. It says a table. It's okay. A table or flat top block used as the focus for a religious ritual, especially for making sacrifices or offerings to a deity. So here in Egypt, because America is modern day Egypt, there will be people making sacrifices to the Most High. Let's go back to that. Where is it? Isaiah 19. Yeah. So it says, in that day there shall be an altar to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof. It says, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushua of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a savior, a great one, and he shall deliver them. Okay, so in the land of our captivity, let's get Baruch. It says, so this is what it's talking about right here. This is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. It says, for I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. So so that's spiritual sacrifices, in the land of our captivity in Egypt. Right there, it says, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness. Okay. In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a savior, a great one, and shall deliver them. Okay, back to the Baruch. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivities, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. For they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not diminish. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Okay, so, all of these things line up. It's just, when the Lord speaks, he doesn't always speak in plain speech, because as it stands right now, all of the Hebrew Israelites in the United States were Americans. For the most part, they were Americans. So they were Gentiles. Okay. So if you're living it, so they were Egyptians, essentially. It says, and it's, okay. And this is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 21. And it says, and Yahweh shall be known to Egypt, and the Egyptians shall know Yahweh by Shem Yahushua in that day, and shall do sacrifice and oblation. They shall vow a vow unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushua and perform it. Okay, so these Egyptians that it's speaking about are Israelites, because they're sending up sacrifices. This is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of the Most High and precious. Yet also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahushua HaMashiach. So here in Egypt, we're offering up spiritual sacrifices to the Most High, and that's what it's talking about in this Isaiah 19. That's a sign to the Most High in the land of Egypt. Here in America, we're throwing up spiritual sacrifices, and that's what he said. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's what we're doing right now. We're throwing up these spiritual sacrifices as we're a monument, an altar, a pillar. All of these things are what is happening in the land of our captivity. We're a monument, a pillar, an altar. We're throwing up the internet is this altar, that we're throwing up these spiritual sacrifices, telling our people that you need to repent because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It says, okay, so this is Isaiah 19:21, and it says, and Yahweh shall be known to Egypt, and the Egyptians shall know Yahweh in that day, and shall do sacrifice and oblation, and they shall vow a vow unto Yahweh and perform it. Okay, so was that Psalms 147 and 19, it says, he show his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So, if these people that it's talking about know the Lord, and the Egyptians shall know Yahweh by Shem Yahushua in that day, and shall do sacrifices and oblation, they shall vow a vow unto Yahweh and perform it. So these people, these Egyptians here, have to be Israelites. They have to be Israelites. They can't be actual Egyptians, And the Lord shall smite Egypt, and he shall smite and heal it, and they shall return even to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, and he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them. Okay, so this is Ephesians. The Israelites will be gathered back, back under the covenants. Okay, this is Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles, we can replace that with Egyptians, for remember that ye being in times past Egyptians, Americans, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Hamashiach. So, being an American, you're without Yahushua. Being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without the Most High in the world. So as an American, you're a stranger and an alien. Or as an Egyptian, you can substitute those names together. Gentile, American, Egyptian, all of those mean the same thing. If you have the understanding. It says, and without the Most High in the world, but now in Hamashiach, or the anointed Yahushua, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of the anointed. So you who were far off are now made near by the blood. You have been redeemed. Let's go. Where? Oh, did I close it out? I did close it out, but we can get it. We can get it back though. We can get it back. We can get it back. Bear with me. No, that's not one. Oh, come on. It says, this is Revelation 5:9. It says, and they sung a new song. Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Okay, so we're going back. Okay, but now in the anointed Yahushua, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of the anointed. So, for he is our peace, whom have made both one, and have broken down the middle wall of partition between us, having abolished in the flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make in himself of twain one new man, so making peace, and that he might reconcile both. Okay, let's get this. Might reconcile back again, to bring back to a former state of harmony. So the Lord is bringing back the Israelites that were cast off, that were scattered into other nations, through Yahushua's blood. He is bringing them back to a former state of harmony. He is bringing them back under the covenant, not other nations, Israelites that are in those nations. I mean, like I said, it's easy for those that it's easy for those that it's meant to get it, but for those that it's not, guess what? Keep believing what you want to, because the Lord is not dealing with the other nations. The Lord is not dealing with the other nations, period. They receive no salvation. Well, they will be in the kingdom as servants. They will be in the kingdom as servants, and they're not going to be on the level of an Israelite. Not a one of them. It says, and came and preached peace to you which were afar off, and to them that were nigh. For through him we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High. So you're going to be fellow, so that's what it's talking about. It's talking about the Israelites that were cast off. The Lord has brought them back with the blood. Yahushua, his blood was the price to bring them back into the good graces of the Lord. And this is who is speaking of in this Isaiah 19. It says, okay, it says, and the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, shall smite Egypt. He shall smite and heal it, and they shall return even unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them. Okay, so it says, and they shall return. So the Egyptians, not the literal Egyptians, but those Israelites living in Egypt, living in America, acting like Americans, they're going to return to their power. In that day, there shall be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. Okay, so this right here is talking about, the Israelites that are scattered into Egypt and Assyria. And we'll get that in Hosea. We're going to get it. This is Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8. It says, Ephraim have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Okay, so we understand that this mixing is a physical appearance, because you are the seed of your father. You're the seed of your father. So, when you go into another nation and a male goes into another nation and gets a woman, yes, the child may appear like the mother and the father, but the seed is of the father, and that's the nation that that child belongs to. Okay, it says, strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not. Yea, gray hairs are here and there upon him, yet he knoweth it not. It says, and the pride of Israel testified to his face, and they do not return to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua thy power, nor seek him for all this. It says, and the pride of Israel testifies to his face, and they do not return to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua thy power, nor seek him for all this. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. Okay, so Ephraim being the head tribe of Israel, it says is a silly dove, you know. And they call to Egypt and they go to Assyria. When they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. I will bring them down as the fowls of heaven. I will chase them. I will chastise Salakia. I will chastise them as their congregation hath heard. So Ephraim is amongst Egypt. Ephraim is among Israel as a silly dove. Okay, that's why he said he will spread out his net and catch them. He's going to spread out his net and catch Ephraim or Israel that is among Egypt and Assyria. It says, I will bring them down as the fowls of heaven. I will chastise them as their congregation hath heard. Woe unto them, for they have fled from me, destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me. Though I have redeemed them, brought them back, yet they have spoken lies against me. It says, and they have not cried unto me with their heart. When they howled upon their beds, they assembled themselves for corn and wine and rebel against me. Though I have bound and strengthened their arms, yet do they imagine mischief against me. They return, but not to the Most High. They are like a deceitful bow. Their princes shall fall by the sword for the rage of their tongue. This shall be their derision in the land of Egypt. So this is what it's talking about, you know, the judgments that Ephraim or Israel is going to receive. But yet it's still paralleling what's going on in Isaiah 19. It says, in that day there shall be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria. The Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. In that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria. So Israel is going to be a third part of and the Egyptian and the Assyrian, even a blessing in the midst of the land, because these Egyptians and these Assyrians are Israelites that are scattered into other lands, whom the Lord of hosts shall bless, saying, blessed be the Egyptian, my people, and the Assyrian, the work of my hand, and Israel, my inheritance. So who is known as the Lord's people? Egypt? No, the Israelites. Israelites out of Egypt. Israelites out of America. That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about the actual Egyptians, the actual Assyrians. The Lord is putting code names on his people that he has scattered. You know, it's let's see. Let's get that. We'll get that and close it out. But the Lord said that he was going to scatter his people into all nations, and then he's going to pull his people out of those nations. That's why they're called Egyptians, Assyrians, Americans, and so forth. You know, a covering cast over all people. That's part of that covering cast over all people. That's, you know, it's just a misdirection for those that are not meant to receive it, because the Lord said that, okay, let's just get it and we'll close out. Hosea, hold on. Well, let's just get it. Hosea 1. One and 6. I can't remember. This is Hosea chapter 1 and verse 8. It says, now when she had weaned Ruamia, I always get that wrong. Ruamia, she conceived and bare a son. It says, then said the Most High, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. So, these people in Isaiah, the Assyrians and the Egyptians in Isaiah 19 are the sons of the living power. This is what it's talking about in Hosea. They're going to be called, these people are just Israelites being called by other names. Simple as that. And if you can't get it, you can't get it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to our elders and apostles, the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother, Yakar Abin from Great Millstone, Houston. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Shalom.